I want to try an Andy Dalton lineup, and then let's go FanDuel.
Yeah, we do the cheap Dalton build. We go with Deontay Johnson. We could go Jatavian Sanders. You could even go. I wouldn't even mind Chuba Hubbard in a lineup with Dalton. Although with that said, I'm maybe a little bit concerned about Hubbard going forward now that Brooks is potentially back. But we don't know if he's going to end up playing this week either. But Jonathan Brooks was activated off the injured reserve. I think it was yesterday.
Okay, yeah, and you could go Xavier Legette is too expensive. The guy, I would rather go all the way down to Sanders, and we don't know if Tremble plays, or we could go like a Jalen Coker or something like that, and just at minimum salary hope he gives us 10. I actually don't hate the idea of going with Jalen Coker.
Yeah, I mean, so if you look at a couple of things. First, he's extremely cheap, right?
He's minimum salary.
He's the flat man. It's more going to be somebody who projects well for, not well, but like reasonably for now. We've got him for like 8 fantasy points. But if other value opens up, he kind of falls by the wayside. It's like one of these NBA DFS sort of situations. Like, hey, this guy good value for now, but better value will probably open up later. But as things stand now, yeah, he looks pretty reasonable because he's so cheap and he's been targeted 7 times the last couple of weeks.
Let's just try it. I just want to see what a really cheap stack looks like for Carolina. That's all I want to do here, right? We're not trying to do anything crazy. Let's just see if a really cheap stack looks as good as we think it will once we build it.
Okay.
Throw Giants defense in there, Jordan. New York Giants defense. Again, just kind of musical chairs here, the cheap defenses that project, semi-decently. 6,500 per player, Greg, without even putting a tight end in yet.
This is going to make it easier for us to go to like Kyron Williams. I do think Aaron Jones at $6,500, even with his status up in the air with Aiden Hutchinson out for Detroit, I think that could potentially set up more touchdown opportunities for the Vikings. So Aaron Jones at $6,500. We did talk more about the Vikings passing game to this point, but I do think Aaron Jones is still a viable option at $6,500 as long as he's good to go. I think that in that 6K range, he looks pretty good.
Jordan, revert him back to his original projection then. Let's just see. We had him projected very high, Greg. I talked to Tom. He said he doesn't see anything wrong with it. 26.5 point total. So it was 19.7. The only reason I bumped him was for the sake of we were getting him in every lineup when we ran the Sims.
All right. So Aaron Jones, Kyron Williams. We could spend up at running back here.
Okay. Aaron Jones, Kyron Williams. Still 6K remaining. So let's say you wanted to go to a $4,200 Dalton Schultz or like $3,900 Zach Ertz or $3,800 Kobe Parkinson. Pick one of those. Pick one of those for me. Do you want Pitts, Schultz, Ertz, or Parkinson?
Can I pivot and say pay up for Kelsey? Because I think Kelsey's back now that Rashee Rice is out of the picture. Like Kelsey's getting a lot of work again.
You want to pay up for Kelsey at 63?
I mean, look at the volume now the last couple of weeks. Travis Kelsey. All right, so Travis Kelsey. If you just discount the first few weeks of the year when Rashee Rice was the #1 guy, you got 10 targets out of Kelsey against the Saints, 9 targets for him against the Chargers. I think we're getting somewhere in the neighborhood of like 8 to 10 targets every game for him the rest of the season.
You wouldn't want to just save 500 and go to Brock Bowers?
I'd rather go to Kelsey if I could.
Okay.
And we still got a lot of salary here.
5,900 for the last 2. Just looking at some of these guys. I mean, I can tell you I'll tell you exactly who I want.
Okay.
we have a Dalton stack. I would like to go to Terry McLaurin at 6,800.
Okay, that makes sense as a run back to me. Because we don't have Brian Robinson in this lineup. Brian Robinson, the flex, there'll be another way we could get a run back here. I think both of them really strong run back options.
And then we don't have him projected well. Jerry Judy's sitting there at 4,800.
$5,200 left at the flex. Who projects the best
5,000
of all the players here, Jordan?
We have 5,000 left, not 50.
Oh, 5,000. My bad. So we could go put Judy in.
Ray McLeod would show up better if we wanted to, game the system here, but we could try it with Judy and just see what happens, right?
Let's do it.
Where would we even upgrade if we went Ray McLeod? I feel like the only spot to upgrade would be a defense.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing we could do is we go Ray McLeod, and then we have the option. Oh, this lineup still looks pretty solid. We could go to, it would have to be defense unless we're taking one of the stacking partners out. Like if we wanted to make it just a double stack instead of a triple stack. Oh no, we did only do a double stack. Yeah, I don't think there is another way that I really want to change the lineup.
There's not much. I went Ray McLeod, and then if I just threw like Rams defense in there, I'm gonna run that with Ray and Rams defense over Judy and Giants defense. The defense there really makes no difference. I'm just, spending more of the set. That gets us to 111. Which I figured would be the case, right?
Yeah, because McLeod projects better for us.
Yeah, for sure. We also don't have that great of a projection on Terry McLaurin right now. But I'll say this, like, if I'm stacking Dalton with a double stack, I do feel like I want something from Washington coming back. I'm not saying it's 100% necessity, but like if the Dalton passing game takes off and Chuba Hubbard doesn't, you would think that you'd want something from Washington on the other side.
Yeah, I think but yeah, either whether it's McLaurin or Robinson, assuming Robinson's good to go, I don't really have a preference between the two. I think both of them are good options for a game stack.
I'd be very okay with Brian Robinson there, assuming he's active and not limited for sure. I like Robinson a lot this week if he plays.